everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jackie and today I'm here to do the mid-year book freakout tag. This tag is one that I have done the past 2 years, and I will link both of those videos down below for you guys along with the original creators video. And I think it's so much fun just to talk about your reading so far in 2019, how it's going, your favorite books, your least favorite books, all that jazz. And again, I've had a blast doing this the past couple of years, and yeah, let's just talk all about my reading so far this year. So without me really further, let's jump right in and get started. Number 1 is the best book you've read so far in 2019. For this, I am going with The Kiss Quotient by Helen Wong. This is a book that I read in May, and I cannot rave enough about this book. I loved it. This is a new adult chick lit romance that follows our main character Stella, who is on the autism spectrum, and basically she has always had problems in the bedroom department, and she decides to hire a male escort to teach her the ways of sex. And there is a fake dating trope in this, and it slowly turns into a real relationship. I can't talk highly enough about this book. It's so amazing. As somebody who is on the spectrum myself, I just really appreciated the representation of autism in this book. It was great, and you're going to see this book a lot in this video. Just as a fair warning, I love it. Please pick this up. Number 2 is the best sequel you've read so far in 2019. For this, I only have read one sequel this year as of when I'm recording this video, and that is Allegiant by Veronica Roth. This is the third and final book in the Divergent trilogy. I read this in February. I had been putting this off for years because I had heard so many bad things about it, but I figured it's about time that I read it. So I did, and I gave it 4 stars. I do see the issues people have with it. I know the series definitely went downhill after the first book came out. And I will be honest with you guys, when I said I saw the movie before I read the book, but I had not been spoiled for the ending, and I did not see the ending coming at all. But I definitely can see why this isn't a favorite book of everybody's here on BookTube. But I'm glad to be done with the series. Divergent will always have a special place in my heart, but the last 2 books in the trilogy just didn't satisfy me, including this last book. Question number 3 is a new release you haven't read yet but really want to. I'm going with Again But Better by Christine Riccio, who is Pullman Nan's books here on BookTube. This is her debut novel. This came out in May, and I really want to read it. Christine was actually the first booktuber I ever discovered here on BookTube, and I love her personality, and I've heard, honestly, very mixed things about this book. I really want to like it, and I feel like I'm going to be able to connect with it in certain ways when I do read it, but I don't know. The uneasy opinions on this book have definitely thrown me off. This is a new adult contemporary romance that follows our main character Shane, who is in college, and her first semester of college doesn't go as well as she had hoped it would go, so she decides to take the study abroad program at her college and travel to London, where she decides to do her entire college experience again but better, hence the title of the book. There's obviously a romance in there, and I heard there's a good friendship dynamic in this, so I have my hopes up. I love Christine, like I mentioned, and I really want to support her. I really hope I end up liking this book in the end. Number 4 is your most anticipated release for the second half of the year. For this, I'm going with Rebel by Marie Lu. This is the 4th book in the Legend series. I read the entire Legend trilogy when I very first started my channel in 2016. I love it. It takes a lot for me to cry in books, but the 3rd and final book in this trilogy, it made me bawl my eyes out at the end. I love Legend. I think it's so underrated. I know it was very popular when BookTube was first getting started, but I don't think it got as much hype as it deserves now. And this is part of the dystopian genre, and I know people have pretty much outgrown that genre nowadays, but give this one a chance. It follows 2 main perspectives. We have June, who is a very high-ranking military official, and Day, who is the most notorious criminal in all of this land. And basically, one day, June's brother is murdered, and Day is ultimately framed for the murder because of his past. And June decides to go on a hunt to find Day and find out the truth about her brother's murder and their past cried, and it is... I feel like I don't talk about this book series enough on this channel. I just love it, and please read it. If you're looking to give dystopian a second chance, this is the one to pick up. Number 5 is your biggest disappointment. Now, I have a couple of answers for this one, but the one I'm going to just talk about in this video today is going to be Strange the Dreamer by Laini Taylor. So this one, I actually didn't even finish. I DNF'd this book at 294 pages in. Okay, this is a booktube favorite. Everybody loves this book. I really don't hear any negative opinions on this at all. It just didn't work for me. I love Laini Taylor's writing style, and I think it's beautiful, but I typically don't like that flowery prose in my books, especially in fantasy. This is a good example. Another example is The Night Circus. It just didn't work for me in the end, and it felt like it took too long to get to the point of the story, so I DNF'd it. And I am going to be giving this book a second chance in July. I will talk about that in a separate video on its own. But I really want to know why everybody loves it. I heard it gets better towards the end, so that's another reason why I'm going to give it a second chance. But we'll have to wait and see if I end up liking this in the end. Then number 6 is your biggest surprise. Again, I'm going to go with Kiss Quotient. I typically don't read contemporary. It's just not my thing. But I picked this up because it has the autism representation in it, and I ended up loving it, so definitely a surprise for me. Question number 7 is your new favorite author, whether this be a new to you author or a debut author. For this, I'm kind of cheating on this a little bit because I knew who this author was before I read their book, but this is their debut novel, so I'll explain why in a second. But that is Shane Dawson. So I read I Hate Myself 8 by him back in January. This was my first read of 2019. And Shane Dawson is a YouTuber who I've been following for about 5 years now. I love him. I think he's absolutely hilarious, and highly recommend you guys check him out. Please do so. And I have both of his books. I have this one. Obviously, I read this already. And then I have his second book, It Gets Worse, on my TBR. And I love him. This is nonfiction. It's short stories about his life, so it's all true, and I love it, and I love Shane, so yeah. The next question is your newest favorite character. For this, again, I'm going with Stella from Kiss Quotient. Could connect with her on every level. Definitely a new favorite character of mine. After that is your newest fictional crush, and for again, I'm going with Michael from the Kiss Quotient, who is Stella's love interest, and he's just amazing. He treats us so well. I love him. This question is a book that made you cry. I hardly ever cry in books. I haven't picked up a book yet this year that has made me cry, so I don't have an answer for this question. The next one is a book that made you happy. That's all I'm gonna say. Next one is your favorite book to movie adaptation. I haven't seen any book to movie adaptations this year. I have a couple that are on my radar that I do want to watch sometime this year, like To All the Boys I've Loved Before. I want to watch the Hate You Give movie. I would like to watch Love, Simon, and there's a few other ones here and there I can't think of off the top of my head that I'm dying to see, and hope to do so by the end of the year. Next question is the most beautiful book that you bought / received this year. For this, I'm going with this copy of Wicked Saints by Emily A. Duncan. This was included in my April Owl Crate box, which will go ahead and link in my unboxing for you guys in the cards. And I love this cover. I know a lot of people aren't a big fan of it, but I actually really enjoy it. The theme for that box was the dark side, and this entire aesthetic just fits that perfectly. And I know that the original cover was white, and I also really like that. But I think I prefer this one cover better than the other, and also the spine is absolutely gorgeous. Final question is, what books do you need to read by the end of the year? And for this, I am going with all of my arcs that I have not read yet. So I have all of these books up to this point have been released already. I just have not gotten to them yet. So I have Infinity by Tabitha Ward, I have The Fifth to Die by J.D. Barker, Kingdom of the Blazing Phoenix by Julie C. Dow, I have Last Woman Standing by Amy Gentry, and finally I have Break the Bodies, Haunt the Bones by Micah Dean Hicks. So I have a whole stack of arcs that I really, really want to get to some point this year. I think I'm going to do Arc August, where you read all of your arcs / review books. I think I'm going to do that this year. So hopefully all of these will get done during August. Everything I have for this video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, be sure to give a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. I post new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Be sure to let me know in the comments down below some of your answers to these questions, as I would love to know. And as always, all my social media links are linked down below for you guys to check out if you'd like to follow me on any of those. And all being said, I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day, and I will see you soon for another video. Thanks for watching. Bye!